All of us humans are born the same. At birth, we are given the same tools and instincts for life. We are given caretakers and a roof up top our heads. We all grow, go to kindergarten, make friends, go to school, pick up hobbies, grow taller, hit puberty, and eventually rebel against our caregivers. But at some point of our lives, we separate into those who succeed and those who don't. Some of us are born into families that condition into success. Families who've had wealth for generations. Some of us are born into the opposite. Families that struggle financially constantly, have done so for generations and likely will do so for many generations to come. But every once in a while somebody breaks that wheel. And once in a while someone realizes that they can choose the life they want to live. I actually remember the day that flame lit up in me. The day I knew I was going to break that wheel. One day towards the tail end of the semester, I was home. I must have been doing some physics homework. And suddenly my dad pulls into our driveway in a Ferrari 612. It was dark blue, had white rims and a beige leather interior. It wasn't the best looking Ferrari there was, but it was the best looking car I'd ever seen. It actually belonged to my father's friend who needed a place for it for 2 days. Can you imagine my 16-year-old self when he found out that he'd have a Ferrari in his driveway for 2 days? I was ecstatic. To me that car was so desirable and it's something so unachievable. My family always had Nissans and Subarus. We were upper middle class. Our life was good and comfortable for sure. I mean, no cause for complaining. But we didn't have extravagancies like that. And I'll tell you, that car was the only thing I thought of for those 2 days. And the 2 weeks following that. On day 2 of circling the car like a vulture in our driveway, my dad finally asked me if I wanted to drive it. Like me. I'd only had my license for less than a year, and the thought of my 16-year-old self behind that wheel of that car was something so unrealistic that I just said no, mostly out of fear of crashing that thing. But I guess he knew how much it meant to me and kept insisting, and finally I agreed. And I still remember how it felt to drive that car, especially when we were coming out of a bend onto the motorway. Soon as the road straightened up, I hit the throttle and oh my god. I distinctly remember the sheer power of that car pulling me against the seat. But what I remember mostly is the sheer joy and carelessness I felt behind the wheel of that car. And that is the moment that burn awakened in me. Because I realized that there were people who actually got to have these cars in their driveways permanently. And that someone I know had money to buy it. That was the moment I realized that despite everything that had been told to me as a child, and everything I believed about the world around me, despite all of that prejudice, I understood that something like this was a possible goal or dream. A chance to live a life I choose, not the one that was given to me. But most people don't choose. They simply live the life they've been conditioned for, similar to the one their parents and their ancestors lived. And only few break that eternal chain. But I have no intention to live the regular plain lifestyle that so many others live. I saw a new way for me, a path that no one I knew could actually guide me on. And at 16 years old, I faced a choice. I could either step into the abyss of uncertainty, or I could stay on the safe path, follow my father's advice to live the ordinary way of life. Drive boring economical cars and get over annoyed when the electricity price gets too high. And at 16 years old, I had finally found my biggest fear. The ordinary way of life. A life without meaning or risk. To live is to risk it all, and I'd much rather risk it all than live a life that's not worth living. And that is the moment that fire inside of me lit. It's the fire that keeps me studying late at night. That same fire keeps me going no matter how hard it feels. It's not because I want to chase material success or impress everyone wherever I go. It's because I fear never seeing my goals come true. And never feeling fulfilled in my own life. And the fire is kept on by fear of living a life I'd hate. Almost 5 years later, I still hold those 2 days as one of the best days of my life. It wasn't about an Italian sports car, nor all the pictures I took of it, or all the snaps I sent to my friends. It was about that feeling. I felt more alive than I ever have since or before. When I pressed on the throttle and felt the immense power of that V12, I felt like I was living a dream, like nothing could stop me. And I'm willing to sacrifice a lot for that feeling. Work hard, skip parties, make tough decisions, and put my ass on the line. Take the risk of being rejected or failing. But all of it feels easy when I remember what's on the other side of it. As unfortunate as it is, the drive for success more often than not comes from either fear or insecurity. Very rarely do positive emotions generate immense need to fix your life. I started fixing my life out of fear of a life I didn't want to live. Fear and insecurity truly are the most powerful generators of change.